Millions of American workers are caught in the vicious cycle of debt because of reliance on payday loans and paying costly overdraft fees to pay bills on time and make ends meet. Joining me this afternoon to discuss an effective solution to break the cycle is Jason Lee, CEO of DailyPay. Jason, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks so much, Jill, and thanks for taking the time to cover this incredibly important topic.
And Jason, how are payday loans contributing to the cycle of debt?
Jill, it's very, very simple. The key problem with payday loans, and for that matter, I might even mention bank overdraft, for so many Americans is the cycle. Essentially what occurs is because people do not have the money that they need in that very moment to accomplish whatever they're trying to accomplish in terms of paying their bills, paying their rent, or whatever it might be, they wind up accessing things like a payday loan, or for that matter, maybe even writing a bad check, which causes a bank overdraft fee. Once that occurs, they're now in the cycle. They're trying to borrow to refinance that loan, borrow again to pay back that overdraft. And that is what really creates this downward cycle that our company DailyPay is really looking to solve and eliminate.
What trends are you seeing with on-demand pay? Is the gig economy contributing to some of these trends?
Sure. I mean, on-demand pay is a very straightforward concept. And all of us here scratch our heads and wonder, why did this never exist before? Very simply, it is designed to allow an employee to access their pay, whatever they've earned, whenever they want, instantly at a tap of a button. It's super simple. And like most simple things, it's incredibly effective. What people can now do is access their earned wages on their own schedule. So they never have to access things like a payday loan, like an overdraft, in order to make ends meet. We are absolutely seeing a lot of this being driven by the gig economy, but frankly, they were the first ones to start. We're now seeing this in places like grocery stores, restaurants, supermarkets, call centers, really all manner of employment.
And how does DailyPay work, and how is it different than payday loans or other services that are out there to accelerate pay?
Very simply, the way that DailyPay works is we give you access to your money. And think of it like a checking account for that matter. In a checking account, you've got some money that might be sitting there in your account. It may be at your preferred bank. And when you need that money to pay a bill or perhaps to take out some cash from the ATM machine, it's exactly what you do. You don't have to worry about someone asking you to pay it back. Perhaps someone might say, you don't have to worry rather about someone saying, I'm sorry, you can't access your own money. DailyPay offers access to your own money, your own earned wages. And so consequently, you can actually access that on your own schedule instantly and never have to worry about ever paying something back as you would with some type of lending transaction like a payday loan.
So Jason, to clarify further, do you team up with the employee's employer? Where does the money come from?
Sure. So what we do as a company is we partner with employers who then offer our product as a benefit to their employees. The great thing about what we're doing for a living is we know the employee, they want daily pay, but the employer does not want to run payroll daily. And so what our software does is it creates the effect of an employee being able to access her pay whenever she wants on her own schedule without the employer changing a single thing about their current payroll process. And that's really the value that we're delivering on behalf of our employer partners and their employees.
So what's the mission at DailyPay?
Our mission simply is to create the world's next new financial system, one that starts working the minute that work starts. We think that on-demand pay is really step zero in this new creation of a new economy, one where there isn't asynchronicity between when it is that you work and when it is that you get paid. Once you remove that friction point, the possibilities are endless in terms of how that money can be consumed, spent, saved, invested, as long as you remove that friction that's being created by the fact that there's a delay in the payroll cycle.
And to wrap up here, is DailyPay helping users manage their finances better? Because at the end of the day, you have to control how much you're spending so you don't fall into these traps. So overall, is it helping with budgetary concerns and teaching people how to budget day to day? What's it helping to manage overall?
Absolutely. Jill, the most important thing that we see is cost prevention. In other words, right now, the alternative that's typically used by one of our users is to go out and basically overdraft their bank account or maybe pay a bill late. That's about a $35 to $40 fee. If all of a sudden we can reduce that cost by, call it 92, 93%, my goodness, that's a lot of money that is being put back into the pockets of very hardworking Americans. And so step number one is to help folks just reduce the frictional cost, 90% plus of what they are currently paying, simply because they can't pay a bill on time and they have to rely on something like an overdraft. Something like 97% of our users tell us, I've eliminated overdraft from my life now that I actually have DailyPay. And that's really the principal way in which we are helping folks kind of get back on their feet. Of course, once they're there, we then offer savings tools, budgeting tools, planning tools. But really, step number one is let's help folks reduce dependence on things like overdraft and payday loans so we can get that money back in their pockets.
That could be hundreds and thousands of dollars a year when you stop that snowball. Jason, great to meet with you. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill.